Hello, everybody. Welcome to the MSL SemiFinals. Hopefully you guys can hear us all right. I'm here, Matt, with Matt and Steve SC, here with my brother Steve.
Hello, everyone.
And Moletrap, of course.
Moletrap in his house.
Yes, we are here. You can hear us. We can hear you guys. I don't know how to. We love you too. Go Jeadong. I don't know how you can turn off the chat. I would recommend just moving the window. Anyways, we're not gonna.
We can turn off the chat actually.
Oh, we can turn off. We'll leave the chat on there for those who want to chat.
Well, sometimes it lags up the stream, so maybe if it lags up later, let us know and we'll turn the chat off. But,
yeah.
Also, if you want to just not have it on, you can go to c.zeroboy.net/sc2gg live, and that'll work too. Be able to watch the stream in a more contained box without the chat.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Well, we are. You already saw that intro. You're already seeing the awesome Korean commercials that they're kind of like the Super Bowl commercials. They're just awesome to watch, and they make about as much sense as Super Bowl commercials. What we are going to bring for you guys here. Turn down the game volume. All right. Thank you for letting us know that. Yeah, it was pretty loud. All right. Hopefully that's better. What we are going to do before we do this is, or before we jump into the semifinals, they're just doing a lot of the, describing the players' heights and what their favorite food is and stuff like that. We are actually going to bring you the Kal versus Jeadong game that was played just a couple days ago in the Proleague.
Yeah, we got a Pro League game that happened between these two players, and it's hopefully going to be a good little preview of what we're going to see in the semifinal. It's kind of interesting. Sometimes you see this happen where two players that are going to play in a best of, end up playing in the Pro League, and you can kind of see what they've got, and they're probably not going to bust out their best material or anything like that, but it'll be cool to just kind of get a little bit of a sneak peek at how these guys play against each other in the semifinals. So we got the Pro League game pulled up. Sorry, it's not completely fitting in the space there, but we're just running it off YouTube. So yeah, we're just going to do kind of a little preview cast because usually there's just commercials and crap for the first 20 minutes, 15-20 minutes, and so we're going to do this game as a little bit of a preview, and then if the actual games start, then we'll switch right over to that, and if they don't, we'll finish off this cast, and then we'll just talk about maps and stuff until the game starts. So, so let's get started here. Again, this is the second game of the matchup between STX Seoul and Hwaseung Oz, and we got Kal playing the Protoss player, obviously, in the top right corner. He's yellow. And Jeadong is going to be the red Zerg in the bottom right corner, and this is the map Outsider, by the way. A very, very fun map. Always exciting games on this map, and PvZ especially can be very, very cool. You usually see a lot of kind of early tech builds because you have that protected ramp, you can get a second base. So we see a lot quicker tech, so makes the game run a little bit quicker sometimes.
Yeah, this is the newer Outsider, which actually has the extra mineral patch in the bases, and I think there was one other difference, very, very minor differences. Okay, people are asking to turn off the chat, so we are going to turn off the chat. Let me see here.
As soon as we figure out how to turn off the chat, we'll turn it off.
The problem with turning off the chat is we can't tell if stuff's going wrong with the channel.
Well, I'm in IRC. They can tell me in IRC.
All right, you guys can go to the SC2GG IRC if you want.
Clear the chat there.
And then let me clear off the chat. All right. Yes, so we are going to clear the chat room so you guys can just watch this. Go to sc2gg.com, and then I believe it's the chat link from there. I think it just says chat.
Or /chat.
Or sc2gg.com/chat. You guys can participate. Moletrap is going to be monitoring that, so we will be able to talk to you guys here as well. All right, I believe, is that just a 9-pool going up there?
It's like overpool, I think.
Overpool, possibly. So Jeadong with an overpool starting off here. Again, on Outsider, a map that I'm really glad that was brought back. Of course, they took it off for just a brief little while, made some minor adjustments, and brought it back on here. So, again, we see a little bit of harassment trying to be done here by Kal. It looks like actually getting a pylon there to stop the expansion from Jeadong. So that's actually a pretty good move that's going to keep Jeadong from expanding sooner.
Yeah, well, Jeadong did get that early pull, so he's going to have tech up pretty soon. It looks like he is going to try to get his hatchery, but obviously on a 3-player map, it's definitely good to get the tech up quick. There's a quick, short distance between players' bases. You can generally scout the player pretty quickly. You can see Kal safely putting down 2 cannons. He knows the Lings are coming. He's going to see the Lings right there going down the ramp. So Kal is going to know these Lings are coming. He's already got 2 cannons prepared, so he should be pretty well prepared for that. Meanwhile, he's just going to scout. He is going to see this drone for Jeadong moving out, probably looking to get a 3rd hatchery. So he pretty much has a good idea of what's going on. Something interesting about this game is that being that this is the last game these two get to play before the semifinal, and a game they do get to play right before the semifinal, it's really interesting to see what strategies they'll pull out if they're going to try to trick each other and really just, you imagine they would probably hold their best strategies for the semifinal. And so, we might just see a very standard game here, or something like that. If Cal's been planning strategy or Jaedong's been planning a strategy, they might wait, to use that in the semifinal, not use it here.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be the case. They're never going to pull out that real ace strategy in the Pro League match, especially since they're practicing for different maps. They're going to have very map specific strategies as well that they're going to be having in mind. So we're not going to see the exact same thing. By the way, I guess I'll mention this again when we really get into the games. Someone said, "Can we get a lag check on the casters or whatever?" We are all casting in the same room right now. We are all sitting next to each other.
There's no lag.
And the video is coming from the same source as the microphone. So this is probably, aside from the professional stuff done by Tasteless and Artosis, this is probably the first ever time that we've had such a big, prominent, live cast that has had 0 lag to it. Between the casters and the game. So I'm really, really excited to have that kind of a quality thing going on. Jeadong putting on a den here. Very, very quick den instead of going for the Spire. So he might just be going for a 3-hatch Lurker Hydra bust or something like that, or 3-hatch Lurkers, trying to do a really, really quick attack here. Kal has just kind of basic stuff. He seems to be just going for a normal tech route. If it goes to a longer game, Cal's going to be in really, really good shape because he's secured his natural expansion, the lower one, instead of just securing his ramp. So he's going to be able to take 3rd and 4th bases really easily after that and protect them pretty easily. And that may be one of the reasons why Jaedong's decided to try and end the game early.
Well, one thing I don't like is that Kal hasn't got a scout into Jaedong's base in a long time, and it's one mistake you can make as a Protoss is scouting that first probe and keeping it in there for a while. But once you lose it, it looks like he is trying to get the probe down now. That's going to be a critical scout, and the thing is, Jeadong does already have these 5 Lings here, so it's going to be really hard for Kal to get that in. But maybe at this point, I'd even think a good idea sometimes is take a Zealot down there, so maybe take his Zealot and his probe, just to force that scout. Obviously, this isn't the semifinals yet. No, it looks like we see a 2nd Stargate going down, so Kal probably planning to get a lot of Corsairs here. But as you said, if Jeadong is going for some kind of 3-hatch Hydra bust or something like that, if Kal doesn't spot this coming, he's going to have a really hard time fending that off. He's going to be building Corsairs. He's not going to have, a lot of Zealots or anything like that. Either way, the timing would be that he probably wouldn't even have any Templar or anything. But looking at Jeadong's base, we do see a lot of Hydras coming out. So
they're popping.
Not sure if we're going to see any Lurkers or if he's just going to go 3-hatch Hydra from here and just try to bust down that door. We do see 2 Zealots there at the base. Zergling's just posturing out front. But again, at this point, Kal does not know what's coming. His first Corsair is going down the map. So he is going to get the scout in, but not sure if it's going to be too late. He's already committed the extra minerals to that 2nd Stargate as well. But again, Corsairs don't do very good against Hydras.
One thing you'll notice here, Jaedong's trying to hide the Hydras. You'll notice him bringing him out to the left side of the map and not going directly to Cal's base. He's actually trying to swing around to the left, so it's not they are not seen by the Corsair, and they were not, in fact, seen by the Corsair. Of course, at this point, Kal is going to see the Hydraless Den. He is going to see some Hydras possibly popping. No, not even seeing them yet.
Yeah, he saw some Hydras coming, so he knows it's coming. I don't think he knows exactly.
He doesn't know how many at this point, and we are going to see something, but he did see now, and he has a huge number of cannons warping in. Are they going to be in time, though? Hydra's coming in right now, able to take out all the units there, and wow, the cannons popping as well. Some of the cannons are warping in. Cannons are not going to warp in time here. Great target firing. Jaedong's taking down all the cannons first, not getting distracted by the probes quite yet. Probes are coming out to help. Probes popping like blue popcorn bubbles there. And here we go. Hydralists are moving in. Kal sitting back with that wonderful smirk on his face. Kal is the only person in the Pro League that loses with a smile, I gotta say. And this certainly is, there's the GG from Kal. Wow, just a textbook Hydra bust.
Quick game there.
Yeah.
And, I gotta kind of wonder a little bit if maybe Jeadong was going for something pressure like that in a no pressure situation like Pro League in order to try and get in Kal's head, like be aggressive, because aggression can really get into a player's head in a best of series. And so, we've seen that recently, and we've seen that in the past as well. I wonder if maybe that was kind of what Jeadong was thinking there, and he's got his backpack on. Maybe he's saying
ready to go.
Maybe he's saying, "Cal, I schooled you."
Right.
Yeah, well, I do think that scouting is obviously one of the most important things in StarCraft, and especially in a best-of-5 series where anything can happen. You can get cheesed or anything like that. So that does not bode well for Kal. Hopefully he'll learn from that mistake. There's one good thing about that is that he can learn from that game. But yeah, certainly it's a mental edge for Jeadong going into a best-of-5 series. Having the mental edge is, of course, really important. Jeadong is going to have the mental edge overall, just in general, against Kal because he's beaten Kal the majority of times they face each other. Actually, lifetime statistics, Jaedong's won 9 games and Kal's won 3 of those. Obviously, they have also met in the finals before in the MSL. So, yeah, definitely a lot of pressure on Kal in this finals. Obviously, Jeadong a great player, but Kal is also a pretty fantastic player as well. But certainly the mental games are going to play a big part, I think, in these semifinals.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot in there, and one thing, Jeadong has been really serious recently. He has been absolutely serious when it comes to his playing. Jeadong is never somebody to really show a ton of emotion, but at this point, he really is just stone-faced. You can see the determination in his eyes when he plays. You can see that he is really, he is just in this all the way to win. Some people are trying to say that Jeadong was kind of slumping there, maybe a month or two ago, and of course, players tend to define slump pretty loosely when it comes to stuff like this. You win a couple games to maybe a couple of the newer players, and now you're slumping. Jeadong had the free agent thing for a while where he wasn't sure where he was going to go. He's been through a lot in the last couple months as far as, being a pro StarCraft player and kind of the drama behind the scenes. So I think this is kind of a good way for him to really prove himself and say, hey, look, I'm back in this, man. I'm still at the top of my game. I'm still going to go in there and win some gold medals. So certainly, if he does go ahead and beat Kal, he certainly has the giant steel mountain that is Flash ahead of him. But that's just something that we'll have to see if he even gets there. So right now, just a quick check on the IRC. Are we doing good as far as the stream, you guys? Is it still holding up?
Yeah, apparently it's a little bit choppy, but it seems to be fine for most people.
Okay.
By the way, apparently we did miss out on Matt when X'd out the video a little too soon. We missed out on a ceremony by Jeadong there, so go check the YouTube video.
Oh, did we really? Oh,
yeah.
My bad.
So go check that out on YouTube if you want to see his ceremony there at the end. But, yeah, it's going to be a really, really cool stuff. Steve mentioned earlier that they've met before, and that's one of the reasons I'm really looking forward to this matchup is this is a rematch of the GOM TV Season 4 Finals. Kal met Jeadong in the finals of that Star League, and of course, as always with best of fives, Jeadong lost the first game and then won 3 in a row to take it, and that was his first MSL, only his second Star League win. He's now won a couple more. So, you trying to get on IRC?
Yeah, I'm just trying to load a couple things, guys. Give me 1 second here. The stream will be right back up.
Anyway, so yeah, this is going to be really, really cool, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to some good stuff, and hopefully, I don't think Kal, I was talking earlier about kind of the mental game, but I don't know if Kal's really the kind of player to, I don't know if really Kal's. Are we even on right now?
Yeah, we're on. We're good. We're live. Sorry, guys. I'm just changing a bunch of stuff right now. So technicals preparing for the actual match here that's coming up any second. So
all right, whatever. Why not put the screen on?
Putting it on right now.
Anyway, Kal though, the mental game can really be a really big deal, but Kal is kind of one of the players though that doesn't seem like he's really affected by that kind of thing too much. Jeadong isn't really either, so I don't expect that to honestly play too big a role, even though I kind of mentioned that earlier. Anyway, you guys have any other thoughts about that kind of thing?
No, I agree with that. One thing that is interesting to note, both players have been around a long time, have a lot of experience. But definitely when it comes to being in the finals, Jeadong has a huge advantage in terms of finals experience. Jeadong has been to 2 MSL finals and 3 OSL finals. All 3 of his OSL finals that he made it to, he got golds. Obviously, he's a gold mouse winner for winning 3 OSL straight. And he got 1 silver in the MSL, which was against 4GG, I believe. But that's the only silver he's gotten. So, 5 individual league, Star League finals appearances, and 4 to 5, Jeadong has won gold. So he definitely has the experience, and certainly not going to feel the nerves at all in this. I agree with you, though, like you said about Kal. I mean, Kal's a player that seems like he does perform pretty well under pressure. He's had a pretty tough road to get here. At least he had to fight his way through the MST. He was seeded from, I think, the round of 16 from the last MSL, the Avalon MSL. But it's just important to note that the one finals that Kal ever made it to in any Star League was against Jeadong, and he lost against Jeadong. So it's really hard to just push away that fact, even though he is. I think, like you said, both players do have a lot of mental fortitude. Still, that's still something that has to at least enter his mind, as preparing for this game, certainly.
Especially after getting owned in the face in Pro League 3 days ago.
Yeah, that too.
By the way, a little bit of a clarification. I said that in the GOM TV Season 4, I said the GOM TV MSL Season 4. GOM TV, before they had their own Star League, sponsored the MSL, and so it was called the GOM TV MSL, and so the 4th time that they sponsored it was the Star League that I was talking about. So that was a couple years ago now, I guess. Year and a half, 2 years ago, something like that. So that's what I was talking about there, since a lot of people were asking about that in IRC. So
there's only 3 seasons of GOM TV, so
that's correct. Everyone's like, wait, I thought Season 4 hasn't happened yet. And it's like, no, we're talking about the MSL.
Yeah, and one of those seasons, the Avrotech Intel Classic, one of the GOM TV seasons, obviously those aren't really respected as much in terms of the Korean scene compared to like individual leagues, but one of those is another gold that Jeadong won versus Flash. He actually won, I think, 3-0 against Flash from what I have written down here. So that was the Classic Season 1, so that's another title that Jeadong has under his belt. So this is a guy that just has a ridiculous amount of experience making it to the finals. And like you said, Matt, you've seen it before, just the face of intensity. I don't want to be like blowing Jeadong up here, because I'm actually kind of rooting a little bit for Kal. But I do think that Kal definitely has a good chance of taking Jeadong down. But certainly in terms of the experience and the mental edge, if there is one, I do think that would go to Jeadong in this case.
Right. Well, let's talk a little bit then about kind of some of the maps we're going to see here. The stream's reloading, guys, so don't freak out at the moment. It's just loading its stuff. As anybody knows who has been to these live casts, this does happen, so we definitely do our best to get it back up. I think it's loading even better than before. So the matches are going to be played. Well, it's lagging a little bit. All right, we're going to do our best to fix that. We are going to see a game on Match Point, Game 2, Fighting Spirit, Game 3, Ultimatum, Odd Eye, and then Match Point again if we go to a Game 5. So we're going to see some big maps here, guys. And I think that's done on purpose to really try to, I think, push for kind of a bigger overall game. We might be overloading my internet connection here, but...
Hey, do you want to close that maybe or something?
Let me go ahead and...
I'm not doing anything over here, so...
Yeah.
But that could definitely, both of you guys being on there could slow that down.
Let me go ahead and take a quick look at...
Well, yeah, one thing, just talking about the maps... the players are allowed to thumb down one of the maps that they don't want to play. And so it could be interesting to note the maps that they didn't want to do. Jeadong thumb down Ultimatum, Kal thumb down Fighting Spirit. Now, both those maps are being played, but as we actually talked about earlier, Moltrap and I, basically how it works is they thumb those down just so that they aren't played twice. For example, like Match Point, if there is a 5th game, it will be played twice. So Jeadong thumbing down Ultimatum and Kal thumbing down Fighting Spirit, that ensures that those maps are not played twice.
Right.
Both those maps are played still once, but that can show that maybe those players don't really like to play on those maps, or they maybe didn't have a strategy prepared for that. Just maybe not as comfortable on those maps. So yeah, again, Jeadong thumb down Ultimatum and Kal thumb down Fighting Spirit.
Yeah, one thing I'm really excited about here is the game on Match Point, and I'm actually glad they have Match Point in there twice, just because I think it's a really good map. There's a few exploits on this map that are really fun to use. Now, we see it a lot in Terran games, But there's that little nook in that map that basically plays itself really well for being able to kind of harass the natural expansion of the opponent. And I haven't seen it used as much with a Protoss, but I would love to see something like that executed. Maybe even using lurkers over that ridge as well. And we need to get this stream up and running here, folks. So give us 1 second before we keep going here.
I don't think you have to worry about keep doing that coming up thing.
Let's go ahead and try this out here. I'm not sure why it's not.
I want to make sure we close out stuff like this.
All right, I'm going to close the stream and redo it. We'll be right back, folks.